we've got another author spotlight video. Let's talk about it. Welcome back, guys. I'm Katie and I'm here to bring you an Alice Feeney ranking video. I have read all 7 of Alice Feeney's books and I'm here to bring you my rating and ranking. Now, before I start with the ranking, I am just going to say none of these books rated less than 4 stars. So just bear that in mind when I'm ranking them. Obviously, I'll give you the star rating. I'll explain what they're about and tell you why I liked them. But yeah, I would recommend all 7 of these books, guys, but that's just the disclaimer. And before we get started, guys, click that subscribe button and look out for more future videos. So, as I've said, Alice Feeney has currently released, up to time of recording this, 7 books, so that does include her most recent release. So we'll go in strong at number 7, and that is Sometimes I Lie. So this is a book that I rated 4 stars straight, but this was before I did my ratings, and I think in hindsight, I probably wouldn't rate it as high, just because I can't actually remember much about it. But at the time I did rate it 4 stars, and it was still a good book. So this follows a woman in a coma, and basically she's trying to recall what has happened to her, and that's about all I can remember about it, guys, I'm not gonna lie. I think we're getting her, like, I'm almost certain this is a dual point of view and dual timeline, and it follows her trying to figure out what's going on, but also in the lead up to the incident in question. So she's in a coma, she thinks she's having husband troubles, but as the title suggests, sometimes she lies. So I suppose it's a bit of a trying to figure out the truth. I don't remember much about this, guys. I'd still recommend it because at the time I did enjoy it. I listened to this on audio as well. But yeah, it was still twisty, and I think that's why I did end up giving it 4 stars, but I think the beginning was a bit slow, which sets the precedent for the next few books. Number 6 in this list is I Know Who You Are. Now, this was a really, really good book. I picked this up in audio, and it basically follows a woman who has kind of had to change her identity due to her previous, like, her childhood. So we see both points of view. So we see, like, the past when she was a child and what she went through, to her current day. Her husband goes missing, and basically she's trying to figure out what's going on. Now, I rated this 4 stars. Now, this would have been a heck of a lot higher had the ending not completely cringed me out. Now, obviously I can't explain this to you. It would ruin the book, and I don't think anyone could ever see this ending coming. If you do, please let me know, because I'll be very surprised if you do. The ending of this was cringe, and I was listening to it on audio and I kind of went, sorry, what? Because obviously I was listening and I was working and I was like, and I just couldn't quite believe the ending. But yeah, she's basically an aspiring actress, and someone basically starts saying, I know who you are, and knows about her past and what happened. And yeah, it's just a continuation on from that, really, and trying to figure out what happened, where her husband is. She's then being blamed for her husband's unaliving. It's a whirlwind of events and a really good book, but the ending kind of makes or breaks the book for some people. Like, I have seen people rate this a lot lower, and yeah, just let me know when you've read it what your opinion is on the ending. It is cringy, but I kind of liked it because it wasn't something I'd seen before, but it was still cringy, and I'm not saying that I like it in that sense, but yeah. Coming in at number 5, and probably a shock to a lot of people, is Alice Feeney's most recent release, and that is Beautiful Ugly. Now, this goes without saying, I rated this 4.25 stars. This just shows the calibre of books that Alice Feeney writes, in my opinion. So this one was released in February, I believe, and it basically follows, in fact, no, it was January. It basically follows a guy who is on the phone to his wife. He's just become a New York Times bestseller, and basically his wife just goes, oh, there's somebody in the road, and she walks off and she's never seen again. A year on, he's still trying to grieve, but obviously she's not being declared dead because you can't do that for 7 years without a body. And he basically is sent off to a remote Scottish island to write, because he is due to publish another book, and he hasn't written it due to the events. That is where he thinks he sees his wife. So then he thinks he's going a little bit mad. He's trying to figure out what's going on. And yeah, the ending I did not expect at all. It was a little bit wild, but I did really, really enjoy it. I think the only reason it didn't rate higher for me is that if you've read another one of Alice Feeney's books, which are coming up in the upcoming, like, ranking, is that there are similarities to a book she's previously written. And I think because I'd not long read that book, it was quite similar at the beginning, which is why it didn't quite hit the 5. And it gave me vibes I can't tell you about because I think it will ruin the book, but there's just something about a book I don't like, a particular trope, and yeah. Still though, twisty, fast paced. I did read this book in 48 hours and I did read 75% of it pretty much in one day, purely from sprinting. And yeah, but nonetheless, I really enjoyed it. It just, yeah, that's my opinion. But still guys, 4.25, so it's not like the book was terrible. Coming in at 4th is Good Bad Girl. Now, this is one of the first ones I started in 2025 when I decided I wanted to read the rest of Alice Feeney. So this basically follows, I think it's 3 different women, and a baby goes missing in a supermarket at the beginning. And then after that, you don't really discuss it. You see different characters come into play, and I rated this 4.5 stars. Now, the only reason it wasn't a 5 is because I really struggled at the beginning to like put it all together. But I started this when I was off work, so I actually had time to commit to it properly. I had energy, I was awake. So it did mean that I could enjoy the book. And once you actually put the pieces together, this is really quick paced, really enjoyable. And yeah, basically you're just trying to figure out how these women are all connected. And also it does eventually take you back to that first chapter. So the first chapter is almost setting you up for the book. So you're invested, you want to know what's happened to the baby. And it comes full circle. And it all does make sense. It was really twisted, it was really enjoyable, and yeah, there are a few twists in there I didn't see coming. I have come to learn that Alice Feeney is definitely an author just because of her twists. She's definitely another author I can get on board with. Now, next in 3rd is Daisy Darker. Again, another one I have recently read. So this follows the Darker family, Daisy being one of the family, and they're basically all invited up to their grandmother/mother's house for her 80th birthday. She has been told by a psychic that she's actually going to die on her 80th birthday. So yeah, basically it is in a remote place. Alice Feeney loves a good remote place, and they have to basically stay there for about, I think it's 6 hours before the tide comes in, and they're stuck, they're stranded. There is a bunch of them in the house, and basically Nana gets brutally murdered in the middle of the night, and basically just after a minute on her 80th birthday she is dead. So it's a case of no one could leave, no one could come, so one of them must have done it. Now, this again was fast paced. This is available on Kindle Unlimited. Quite a few of Alice Feeney's books are on Kindle Unlimited, so I'd definitely go and give them a look. Not all of them are, but I will put in the caption which ones are. And yeah, so I rated this 4.5 stars, and it was twisty, it was good, and the ending had me a little bit shocked. Did not see where that was going. You think you're going to figure it out, trust me, but you won't. I was shocked, but really enjoyed it. It was wild, but really enjoyable. I think you'll relate to this a little bit, but yeah. Into the top 2 now, and in 2nd place, and just missing out on top spot, is Rock, Paper, Scissors. We picked this up for book club in December, and I found it really enjoyable and rated it 4.5 stars. So this basically follows a couple who win a trip in a raffle, and they go to this like really remote kind of derelict building. Very surprised that this is a prize won, and they start to think that somebody is watching them. And it also is like from a point of view that the couple both have something else in mind. So it's quite twisted. They're clearly not getting on, probably shouldn't be together. And yeah, so basically they're trying to figure out who is watching them. Strange things keep happening, and yeah, you also get the point of view of a letter from the wife, and yeah, basically in the lead up to all of this. So it's like a dual timeline kind of thing, but also a dual point of view. The only thing that kind of got me a little bit is that I was flicking between Kindle and physical for this, and the chapters are named, not numbered. So when you're trying to flick between your Kindle, it's literally got like Adam, Amelia, name of anniversary, Adam, Amelia. So you're having to try and figure out where this fits in. There is also another character in the book that you come to know. But yeah, wild, but really enjoyable. And it was a 4.5 stars, I've already said, but yeah, it just didn't quite hit the mark because it was a little bit like trying to keep up, but the twists and how fast paced this got, absolute recommend. And yeah, this is just the book that did it for me. And obviously we're down to the first book, and if you are an Alice Feeney fan, you'll know exactly where this is going, and this is actually my only 5-star rating of all of Alice Feeney's books, and that is his and hers. So as I've just said, I rated this 5 stars. So this is what I listened to on audio and was my first Alice Feeney book, and I think that really set the precedent and is probably why nothing has lived up to it since. However, this follows, basically, there is a murder, and there is a reporter that's always first on the scene, which is her, and he is the detective trying to solve it, only they used to be married. So there is a connection there. And it is only then when a series of victims start showing up that they start to realise that they're connected to all the victims and someone is trying to set them up. So, like I said, I listened to this on audio, and when the plot twist dropped, I cannot begin to tell you it did drop. And I was listening to this and went, what? And I just did not want to put it down. So if that's what it's like in audio, I dread to think how amazing this will be picking it up in physical. Again, this is available on Kindle Unlimited. And yeah, honestly, my favourite book of all time, and yeah, absolute worthy of first place. And yeah, like I said, 5 stars, guys. The only 5-star book that I've actually given this like bunch of books, but yeah. So that is Alice Feeney's backlist all ranked for you. Please let me know in the comments if you've read any of them, if you agree with my ratings and rankings. But yeah, just let me know if you read them. If you haven't, guys, this is clearly your sign. You need to pick up Alice Feeney. She is twisted, she is fast-paced, the chapters are short. As I've said, some of these books are on Kindle Unlimited. I know for a fact His and Hers is, Daisy Darker is, Good Bad Girl is. In fact, I think they all are, bar Beautiful Ugly. But I will confirm that in the comments, guys. But yeah, that's all I have to say to you is pick up Alice Feeney. That is my ranking video. Let me know in the comments which author you want me to backlist next. I'm currently on with B.A. Paris, John Mars, M.J. Arledge. So pick out of those 3 guys, which ones do you want to see next, and I will try and read their backlist. That being said, John Mars has a massive backlist, but we're going to go with it. We're going to give it a go. But yeah, that is my view and thoughts. But as always, guys, thank you so much for joining me on another video. I am absolutely loving being here. It is nice to get back into recording videos again, and as I've already previously said at the beginning of this video, if you haven't already, click that subscribe button. Every subscribe helps me, guys, and thank you so much, and I'll catch you on the next video.